Hi everyone. Thanks to Ori and the AWE team for having me here. It's my first time as an AWE presenter, so I'm really excited to go fast and get to the Q&A session because I'm all about sharing ideas and really interested to get your feedback. Some of the themes I've heard so far from this morning that I'm going to echo here are superpowers, dreams for good, real time, and that last one is really key. So one quick question, any cyclists? 1, 2, 3, okay, good, we got a few. Runners, any runners? Okay, and a bunch of runners, great. I have something for each of you today. So let me see. So a brief intro about micro OLED and what we're here to discuss. There we go. Micro OLED isn't just the name of a technology, it's actually a company name. Company is headquartered in Grenoble, France. ActiveLook is Micro OLED's open platform for light AR applications. And ENGO is the world's lightest, over here, heads-up display for consumers ever created. And so talk a little bit about these things. The key point is this is available today. Not coming soon, not in the lab, not hope we get there in a couple years. I'm going to talk about a lot of things that you could go online and literally buy right now that could change your ability to perform as a cyclist and a runner, and also a lot of other things. So we observed people make split-second decisions when visual information is presented in an accessible way. I think everybody understands the sort of human interface and capacity throughput, why visual stuff is good. We asked, what are some highest and best uses for this technology? So I think we know where heads-up displays are used today in cars and planes, aviation, fighter pilots, soldier of the future, like really critical high-performance categories. But we also thought of another one. What? Sorry. Sports. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about this guy. Anyone know this? Eliud Kipchoge? Got a couple? Okay, good. This is where we get to the superpowers part of the presentation. So in 2019, Kipchoge became the first person in human history to run a sub-2-hour marathon. Like if you're running under 3, that's kind of elite. No one had ever done anything under 2, and he did it. What's happening? Sorry. Oh, it's this. All right. How did he do it? So you can kind of see in the picture, there's a vehicle with some green lasers. So it's a precision GPS-guided vehicle, and this also kind of echoes something from this morning. One of the scenarios of dreaming was the ghost runner, or the virtual partner to go running. Now this guy didn't have glasses or AR or VR or anything, but he did have a virtual partner. It's the vehicle that's projecting a position on the road, not a 3D representation, not an avatar, but it's a representation of digital information. That's where he needed to be in order to achieve his goal. So first comment I'm going to make is this presentation is very different than the last one. We're not about VR, we're not about avatars, we're not about 3D, but we are about bringing digital information into the real world. So another term that I like that I hear a lot here is reality. Real reality. So don't millions of runners have an Apple Watch or a Garmin watch or something that has real-time GPS, pace and cadence or something? Don't we all have that? Why did he need a vehicle to do that? We all have that. I mean, literally hundreds of millions of people already have and wear the sensors that do that. How many people have a smartwatch? You're all good to go. We're going to enable you to go set some world records today. So, but here's a dirty secret about all those devices that we've all bought. Really hard to see while you're running. So, fact, runners buy a sports watch to get stronger and faster, but runners need to slow down to read their watch. Your smartwatch makes you slower. It totally ruins your body mechanics. You can't read the watch while you're running, so you have to slow down so that you can kind of see it. Now, if you're a marathoner and you're trying to actually accomplish something, you actually have a goal to go faster, your watch is making you slower. That's a problem. And that's why Kipchoge needed a vehicle with lasers. So let's keep going with this. Many examples of real-time data transforming sports and performance. But these examples are usually indoors. So Peloton, right? Just think back a couple years ago. What do we have? Real-time leaderboards, real-time heart rate, real-time power, real-time cadence on a bike that you have to use indoors. Not a real bike outdoors, but a bike that you have to use indoors, like a VR headset. Orange Theory Fitness, tons of real-time stuff. Now, we could go on. There are a million examples. Zwift, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all indoors. What if we enabled all athletes to use real-time data wherever they go, including outdoors? You obviously couldn't wear a VR helmet. It's too heavy, et cetera, but what if we could do that? Well, we can. I'm going to get to how. So, most sports activities outdoors VR's not going to do it. AR, maybe. We'll talk in a minute about what are the criteria to actually put AR to this application. So the theory that we want to share with you today is, I'm not here to coin terms or to define anything that starts with an M. That's a marketing term that's strongly advanced by one company. We're talking about open platforms that work for anybody and some new business models that might go along with that too. So maybe it's enhanced reality, maybe it's light AR, but it's new. This is ENGO, powered by ActiveLook, that uses the micro OLED display. We've sort of photoshopped it for effect, but when you put these on, that's basically what you see. What's different about these? So it's a new class of connected eyeglasses. It presents another key idea, real-time data in your natural field of view. And to be 100% clear, these, well, this is a prototype of something that's coming soon, but the one that was up on the screen a second ago is available for purchase today. It's a real product. It's shipped just at the end of 2021. If you're a runner and you care about your heart rate, your speed, your cadence, you've got a structured training plan, that can benefit you today. It'll pair with your Garmin watch or directly with your smartphone. There are a whole bunch of things that it can do. You can read about it on our website or come take a demo at our booth, but here are some of the things that you'll find most interesting about ActiveLook. High contrast monochrome display, works in daylight. The technology in these glasses is about 6 grams total. So that's the micro display, the battery, the wireless chipset, 6 grams. Under 40 grams complete, so it's about the same weight as some Oakleys or other sports glasses. Very lightweight. That means you can wear them comfortably all day while doing really hard things. Super power efficient. And I can't underscore this enough. 10 to 12 hours of continuous use. So if you're training, you're running a marathon, this will go the distance. There has never been a product in the history of our category that does all of these things at once. For those of you who've been following along, if you know Solos, if you knew Google Glass, if you knew the Garmin product, any of those other products that sort of had an external heads-up display, they ran for 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 hours. We've never had 12 hours of use. They weighed 80, 100 grams, 150 grams. They kind of get heavy on your head after a while. They're good to wear for an hour or two, not to go run a marathon. They're frankly too heavy and unbalanced for sports activity. This puts the whole display right on the nose bridge. It's totally balanced. Never been done before. And this is key. And I'm not sure anybody else here this week is going to say anything like this. The retail price point for the glasses is under $400. So the ones that are for sale on the internet today are $395. The ones on my head that are about to be introduced will be closer to $300. That is a viable price point for our partners to sell hardware with appropriate retail margins today. Not $1,000, not $1,000 plus. So part of the theme of the presentation is the tipping point. And we believe that the tipping point is to do all of these things. Others will do it too. We think we might be the first that actually go down this checklist of what is required to build an AR product that people will actually buy. These glasses are just a little bit more expensive than the high-end Oakleys that are not connected and have no data and no real-time display. So I want to tell you a little bit about this guy. We tested these glasses at the Boston Marathon last month. He ran just under 2.5 hours. We proved that the glasses are stable. We proved that there's optical stability while running. And we also proved a couple of other things, which is one, he never needed to slow down to check his pace. And a big thing for endurance athletes is it's performance anxiety. It's maybe 5 or 6 times per kilometer you check your watch. Am I executing my plan? Am I on pace for the first third, for the second third, for the final push? Am I maintaining the pace that I really need to achieve in order to hit my goal for this event? And it's the same for cyclists, it's the same for triathletes. This guy was able to keep his focus, keep his eye on the road. You've got to come by the booth and see it too, because what we project in your field of view, a lot of other AR type products have this attribute, but it's you see it when you want to see it and you don't see it when you don't want to see it, very intuitively and very naturally. So it doesn't interrupt your flow, it doesn't distract, it doesn't cause you to break stride, it just gives you instant, frictionless data when you need it, at a glance, instantly. So, Active Look brings similar benefits to all of these activities. So pace, cadence, distance, time elapsed, altitude, elevation, location, power, heart rate, all instantly visible in your natural field of view, and more. And I'm just talking about sports. Of course, we could use these for productivity and other enterprise uses. So, what are the implications for the XR community? I don't know if he's here. I saw him walking around earlier. There's a guy named David Rose, wrote this book, Supersight. Again, we're talking about superpowers. And he mentioned Supersight unlocks a lot of business just in sports. 65 million people play basketball, 75 million play tennis, 220 million play badminton. Yoga has 300 million practitioners, ping pong, 300 million, volleyball, 800 million. Leading participatory sport is soccer. So when thinking about training applications, and most of the sports applications on this thing are for training, now we have the ability to put that training data into your natural field of view. And I kind of alluded to this in the beginning. Why is vision the way to go? It's fast. So can you ever imagine, we've all seen, well, the movie came out this week, a new Top Gun movie. Of course, they're heads-up displays. Imagine Maverick saying, hey, Alexa, please shoot down that enemy plane. Like, it doesn't happen. But instant frictionless data, there's the target. It's the same thing for sports. We don't have time for other interfaces. We need to use our eyes. It's the fastest thing we can possibly do. So sports needs visual data. We're all here talking about visual interfaces. So what's the killer app? Instead of bringing people into digital worlds, I shouldn't say instead, I should say in addition to. Let's bring the digital data that we all have here into the real world. Let's go run outside, not on a treadmill. Let's go for a bike ride outside, not on a stationary bike. And let's bring that data that gamifies the experience and gives us motivation to perform better into our peripheral vision while we're doing those activities that we love in real time. Market addressability. I just alluded to this. So the biggest total addressable market is lower price points with simpler, focused experiences. The entertainment stuff that's here, games and stuff, is awesome in your living room. Some of the stuff that we can do with AR on a phone, Pokemon, fun. Do you have any idea how much one person will pay to go shave 10 minutes off their time at Kona? It's like 20,000 bucks between the bike, the trip, a year of training, coaching, all the rest, sometimes more. That's not a $9.99 app. That's huge market value. This can do more to unlock performance for that athlete that wants incremental gains in their next big event for 300 and change with margin. Business models. So instead of going for ad-supported businesses or commerce-based stuff, figuring out how get people to shop more, let's build products and experiences that just deliver their own value. Retail's built to do it. So again, let's say $329 suggested retail price, great margin, go set world records. Questions?
Many people are using micro LED technology. What's your advantage technology-wise?
The particular display that's in these glasses from micro OLED is, in our system configuration, extremely power efficient. It's lightweight and power efficient, but still really bright. So bright enough to use in all lighting conditions, broad daylight, great contrast. So when we talk about waveguides and other heads-up displays, they are not even close in terms of power efficiency or brightness. So that leads to how effective is the product. When you see waveguides, they're thick frames, they're heavy, they're gonna be 60, 100, 150 grams, and they're not gonna be as bright. And then they need a huge battery. So that's the short answer.
Yeah. Do you have like entry barrier for other players, patents or?
There's a lot of IP, and there are several partners today. So I mentioned the companies headquartered in France. Some of the first partners are also European partners. Julbo is an optics company that makes glasses for skiing and mountaineering and cycling. They have a product in market that uses active look. There's another European company called Cosmo. They make e-bikes, and they also do some other things, but they are using active look technology for wayfinding. So if you're riding a bike in an urban environment, now you've got your GPS right, left, turn coming up in your peripheral vision. Well-known application, great use case, but again, with some of the lowest cost, lightest weight, longest battery life products that have been brought to date. And there are some others too. We've got app partners and.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. The lights are kind of bright on my side, so it might not be any other questions. Anyone? Oh, good. Yes.
So where's all the computing done? It's not done in the headset, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's all happening here. Or, and this is another part of the sort of elegance of this solution in the smartwatch. So I gave away one secret, which is I'm wearing some prototypes. ENGO is going to launch this new product this summer. But I'll give away another secret, which is that Active Look it's not publicly available, but it's in a beta today, an Apple Watch app, which will make these glasses the first AR product that connects directly to an Apple Watch. So when you go running and you use the sports app on your Apple Watch, you get all the data. So what's doing all the processing? It's incredibly lightweight. Smartphone or smartwatch. And the Apple Watch app should be out in about a month.
And I guess that latency is good enough for soccer or whatever.
It's absolutely good enough. So it's Bluetooth. Bluetooth connection can put through a huge amount of data as fast as necessary.
May I ask one more question? Do you have a plan to develop a true color display?
I love that question, and I answer it two ways. So on one level, yes, we're developing color. People want it. There's no changing what people want. But we're an engineering-driven company, and we look at functionality first. And so a single color or maybe even a dual color display has really great high contrast for performance applications. And I've never flown in a fighter jet, but every time I see a picture of heads-up display in a fighter jet, it's like one or two colors. Why is that? It's because in that mission-critical application, it's functionality, it's not entertainment. So from our point of view, these are about functionality to help athletes go achieve their goals, not about entertainment. But that said, we know the world wants color. We will also build color.
Thanks.
You got it. So think about it. When you're in a bike or you're running, that sort of the color in the glasses is like that yellow-green color, which provides really great high contrast against almost any background. And it's stable, it's not changing, so it doesn't matter what you're looking at, doesn't matter what the weather conditions are, you're always able to see the data. If we make a full color display and you're out running a marathon, that starts to get distracting. But I don't know that we're always going to persuade consumers to stick with a monochrome display. We know that consumers are going to want color, so it's in the lab. But that monochrome high performance display is available today. And if you're an athlete and you want to go make something happen, just like a fighter jet pilot needs to make something happen, maybe you'll accept the monochrome display.
Which type of sports or activities are you guys targeting right now, and why for applications?
So we're starting with endurance athletes, so cyclists and runners. And the reason why is those particular disciplines benefit the most from incremental gains. And having the data enables you to see your progress and the gains that you can make. So for all the runners and cyclists, how many people have a Strava account? Yeah, if it didn't happen on Strava, it didn't happen. And what do you see in Strava is I was 1 second faster on that segment today, or maybe 1 second slower, or maybe more than that. But that's what the glasses enable you to see, is how am I doing on that segment that I know and love in real time? And so actually there are a lot of other benefits that come with that, which is athletes are notoriously bad at predicting their own performance. Some days you feel great, and then you look at Strava later, and you didn't do so great. And then some days it feels really hard, and then you look at Strava, and it's like, wow, I got my PR today, personal record. The glasses tell you in real time how you're actually doing. So you know, today's the day, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get my PR today. Or I'm not even close. I'm going to ease up so I don't hurt myself today, and I can stick with my training plan and come back and try again tomorrow. And you can't do that with a cycling computer or a watch, because when you're going for your personal record, you are absolutely not looking at a device. But you can do it with glasses. So that's why we're targeting those groups, because they can most directly and demonstrably benefit from what we do. But we know we can build it out to other markets from there. I know I'm at time, but maybe I'll try and sneak in one more.
Just quick question. If I cannot get my PR, are you going to refund me for the glasses?
Actually, I have an answer for that, which is, this isn't a micro OLED answer or an active look answer, but ENGO has a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Sounds great. So great, it is a great product. I'm a runner. I run marathons. So it's good to know it's tested in Boston.
And Paris, and soon to be New York.
Okay, so I believe it's waterproof,
It's water resistant.
resistant. Okay, so have you tested it in raining?
Yes.
Okay. Have you tested in night?
Yeah, well,
the trail running?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. So we have one model that has photochromic lenses, and so much better visibility in variable light.
Right.
And the new lower price point don't have photochromic, so they're really a daylight product.
I see.
But the photochromic is dawn, dusk, midnight, probably not. But
Thanks. You're a really great salesperson.
thank you.
I like the product.
Thanks, everyone.